How do we know when the flower essences are actually working? If it's your first time working with flower essences, you may have a thought of, after a couple days, I feel X. I wonder if it's the flower essences. No, it couldn't be. It's precisely in those moments that you have that self-arising, I wonder, and then no, like the skeptic will say, no, that can't be it. It's precisely in those moments that you are becoming aware of how the flower essences are operating in your system. Flower essences have this incredible ability to show us things about ourselves that we weren't previously able to see. It's like shining a light in a blind spot. I usually tell the story of when I first started taking flower essences and I worked with a particular remedy called impatience. We don't have that remedy actually, but it is for helping you discover or helping enhance patience. And at the time, I thought that I was one of the most peaceful, patient people that I knew. And while I was working with that particular flower, I actually realized, wow, I am seriously impatient. I have a tremendous amount of impatience. I like things to go fast. I like to have a sense of urgency. I don't like to wait around in specific situations. And was able to see a whole new side of myself that I had never before seen in my life. At the time, I was in my early 20s. So to think you can go over 20 years thinking that you're this peaceful, shanti person and actually discover that you're wildly impatient. That's how the flower essences work. And they show it in a way that's so kind and so gentle. And it feels like an aha moment. You just suddenly see something. You suddenly know something that you didn't see or know before. So it is very comfortable. But there are some tips and methods and ways that I use to know when is a flower essence working. One way is journaling, by just getting a notebook and writing down what you notice. It can be bullet journaling. You can answer a set of questions that relate to that flower. Or what I often do is in my phone in the notes section, I'll just have sort of a running tally that month of what are the things that I notice. Some of the things that you'll want to be aware of is who comes into your life during a particular flower essence, or what is an unusual circumstance that occurs, or let's say you have a discussion with someone or an argument. Is there some way that you operate in that situation differently than you normally would? Oftentimes situations will arise when we're working with a particular flower that have the capacity to show us another way of maneuvering through it, if that makes sense. You can also take particular flower elixirs with a friend or family member, take the same flower, and then that way you can have chats. Are you feeling this? Or did you notice this? Here's what I'm noticing. Oh my God, me too. Oftentimes just talking about situations in life that are arising makes it easier for us to connect the dots and say, oh my God, yeah, I'm totally feeling the same thing. It's just being expressed in a little slightly different way that applies to my life. That's one of the most helpful aspects of the monthly Flower Evolution program here at LOTUSWEI is that we can really get into it with people from all over the world, from different cultural backgrounds, from different experiences in the way that they grew up, yet we're all taking the same flower elixir. What are you feeling? What are you feeling? What did you notice? It's fascinating. Another way of really becoming more aware of how the flower essences are working is through the practice of meditation and/or mindful awareness practices, whether that is a formal sitting practice, say sitting for 5 minutes and just being aware of your breath every morning, or whether that is as many times as you possibly can through the day, coming back to the state of mindful awareness, or noticing how your breath feels, or noticing the sounds around you, noticing if your body has any tension. Those are little methods that you can use to bring yourself out of the past and the future into the present moment of experience. And oftentimes in the spacious present moment is when insights will arise. I always tell the story when I was working with Boundless Wisdom for the first time, when we first released that blend. And I just took that exclusively to really feel, what is this particular combination? What is the effect of the synergistic effect of all these flowers together? And I always talk about that experience of being in the kitchen alone, cooking over a wok, and suddenly having this incredible insight about me, about patterning, about why I was the way I was from childhood. It was like in that spacious moment of cooking over the wok, everything just sort of fell into place. So employing meditation or mindful awareness practices is super powerful for helping create enough space to be aware of what arises. With every flower essence that we make, we create a meditation that corresponds to it, that can be particularly supportive for the intention of the flowers. So I can't encourage you enough to develop a regular practice of meditation and or mindful awareness training. And if you want to take it another step further, like I said earlier, journaling, taking bullet notes, talking to a friend, being a part of the flower evolution, and really just developing a more sensitive, acute awareness of what are the things that are happening? What am I feeling? What am I thinking? How am I doing things differently? Is anything unusual happening? And that's typically where the key is.